So when I was a kid growing up in Alabama, times were much different than they are now. There were real racial tensions, not the made up bullshit you see on TV. And the areas that we lived in were segregated. And that's where the saying, don't go on the other side of the tracks, really comes from. The black and white divide in Alabama was very real. And let me say this, my story is not about racism and some horrible white person doing something to somebody black or some horrible black person doing something to somebody white. It's about what I witnessed at Bible study as a young man. Imagine this, you're 10 years old, it's Wednesday night Bible service. And yeah, as a kid, I spent the majority of my time in the church. Sunday morning there was Bible study, and afterwards there was church. Monday there was Bible study. Wednesday there was church and Bible study. Friday there was Bible study. Back then, growing up in Alabama meant you went to church. Picture this, Wednesday night 8 o'clock, our pastor decides that instead of having Bible study for the kids before church service, he's going to have it after church service. And looking back on it, I really think our parents talked them into doing it this way just so they can have some time to themselves. Because once church was over, you should have saw how they literally all ran out of the church. Listen, we're all there with Pastor Butts. And yes, the man's name was Reverend Butts. And you wouldn't believe the number of jokes as kids that we cracked about this. And listen, we're all there with Reverend Butts. Imagine being in a church and it's so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. The only person talking is the pastor. He's going over Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and we hear this growl. No doubt it was a growl, not like a dog, not like a wolf. This thing was deep, guttural, and long. Just this nasty growl, so strong that you could feel the wooden pews vibrating beneath you. Pastor pauses for a little while, looks around, and keeps reading his Bible. He's explaining to us about the snake in the Garden of Eden when his secretary comes running out of the back of the church screaming, "Pastor, they're back! Pastor, they're back! I saw one of them in the window." Listen, this woman looked scared out of her mind. And I need you to understand how our church was set up. It was literally in the middle of the woods. There was this clearing on the right-hand side of the church where there was a graveyard, and on the other side of the graveyard were these picnic tables and this kind of outdoor area where we all could hang out after church. But for the most part, you drove through the woods to get to our church. And if you were standing there in the pulpit like the pastor, directly behind you on the other side of that wall was nothing but woods. Growling starts again, except for this time it's louder and you can hear this beating and thumping. Now everyone in that room began to huddle in fear in the center of that church, including that secretary, but not Pastor Butts. I swear this was the craziest thing I had ever seen as a kid, because I've always thought that pastors were supposed to be cool and calm and collective. Pastor Butts puts down his Bible, reaches both of his arms inside his suit jacket, pulls out two snub-nosed revolvers, and takes off running down out of the pulpit, makes a hard right, and runs out of the side door of the church. Next thing you know, all I hear him saying is, "These sons of bitches, I swear I'm tired of y'all bringing your ass up to my church and acting a fool, beating on my walls, knocking over my headstones. Y'all finna get back in the woods or you going in the grave." Now listen to me, this man is outside shooting and cursing and shooting. You hear these growls and groans and then more shooting. And the next thing you know, trees are crackling, falling over. It sounds like bulldozers are pushing their way away from the church back into the woods. Pastor comes running back into the church, goes into his office, comes out with a box of bullets in his hand, sits down calmly, reloads his guns, goes back outside, and starts shooting and cursing again. Listen to me, by now, people are... What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Dope Waters, and as usual, if you're a member, head on over to the website to hear the entire story. If you're not a member, then you need to sign up to become a member. I've been away for a little while dealing with the coronavirus issue like everybody else, and I'm back and I'm ready to rumble and drop you guys some great content. If you're looking for real Dogman Encounters content, I'm about to drop some of that. If you haven't become a member and you want to become a member, head over to imdogwaters.com. It's $4.99 a month. If you were a member and you hit rough times due to coronavirus and you could not maintain your membership, remember, you have a price lock. All you need to do is email me before you sign up, and we'll go in manually and put you back at your original price. So don't sweat it. Don't trip if you couldn't keep it. Some people couldn't, some people could. With that being said, I hope everybody's doing well. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on the next video.